another episode of the Six Figure Vet podcast, where we showcase the success stories of Black veterans that have successfully unlaced the boots. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the Six Figure Vet podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. As we are wrapping up Women's History Month, we are honored to welcome the Miss Morgan Webb, Esquire, honey, okay? A powerhouse attorney, Army National Guard officer, and a trailblazer. Morgan's journey is a master class in resiliency, leadership, and breaking barriers. She enlisted in the military at just 17 years old, recognizing early the underrepresentation of Black women in leadership. Determined to change the game, she commissioned as an officer and went on to serve in key roles like the Brigade Strength Manager, Battalion S1, and Headquarter Company Commander for Infantry Battalion. Okay, not for the weak at heart. But she did not stop there. While serving her country, Morgan took on another challenge: law school. She balanced her military duties with earning her JD at Texas Tech University School of Law, where she made her mark as a student ambassador, research assistant, and leader in the National Black Law Student Association, ultimately serving on the board of directors. Today, she's an associate attorney at one of the largest insurance defense law firms in Texas, providing strategic legal counsel in high-stake insurance disputes, all while continuing to serve. Okay? Morgan embodies the six-figure vet mindset, leveraging her skills, service, and story to create an impactful journey at every level. Get ready for inspiration. Morgan is coming in hot, and let's give her a warm six-figure vet welcome. Welcome, Morgan.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for the introduction.
Yes. You're welcome. You are welcome. So I like to start every single episode with a mental health check-in. How are you?
Whew, girl, I'm doing great. Surprisingly, this week, I hit the gym 5 times this week. So it's been a great week.
Goals, okay? She's walking so we can run.
But yeah, I mean, work hasn't been too crazy this week. I actually just passed my ACFT this past weekend.
Congrats.
It's been great.
That's so good. I love to hear that. And I just like to do mental health check-ins. For one, being in the world is crazy already. And then when you dare to have aspirations, it's just kind of like, oh, so you real crazy, huh? You're extra crazy. You're gonna do the military, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna do extra stuff on top of it, and it can become heavy. So I definitely love doing check-ins. Now, Morgan, are you from Texas? Where are you from?
So I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi, Jacktown.
Okay.
And then I moved to Houston when I was about 12. So a lot of times I say I'm from Houston because I feel like I have that Houston energy.
So give us a little backstory of what you were doing. First of all, what made you want to join the military so young? And did you have to get a waiver since you were 17? Okay, so give us the backstory on that. Like, what made you be like, okay, I'm leaving?
Okay, so I'll take y'all back a little bit. So both of my parents, especially my dad, instilled in me at a young age that I need to figure out what my career path is going to be. They're not going to fund my life forever, and you always want to have some type of independence for yourself. So I remember at the end of my junior year of high school, I found a Black female Army recruiter, and we talked all the time. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then whenever it came to going to MEPS, I ghosted her.
What?
I was like, I'm not ready. This is too much. 8 years. Like, I don't know what I'm doing 8 days from now. Like,
why did she offer you 8 years?
Well, that's the minimum for the National Guard. So it's 8 years total. And then you can do the last 2 years in Ready Reserve, but you have to do at least 8 years contract.
Dang, I did not know that.
Yeah, so I ran. I'm like, girl, I can't do this. These people are nuts yelling at everybody. I can't do it. So I ran.
Oh my goodness.
So then a big event happened in my life. So September 29th, 2015, I lost my dad and my stepmother to a double homicide.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And it was a very tumultuous time for me. It was very unexpected. Like, I just didn't know how to navigate life. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's my senior year of high school. Like, there's so many different moments in my life that he's going to miss.
Yes.
And I just had to figure out what was going to be next for me. Like, I couldn't be sad for the rest of my life. I couldn't be depressed. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to do everything I said I was going to do.
You had that realization at 17 years old.
Yes. Yes. I had to grow up really quick.
Obviously, especially emotionally.
Yes. So after that, I think it was like the next month, I found a recruiter. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna actually follow through this time. So I went to MEPS. I made it through MEPS. I had to really give it to myself on that. 'Cause, woo,
Not you get stuck at MEPS. So boot camp is like, okay, this is real. Girl, you got stuck at MEPS.
they were yelling at me. I'm like, dang, I just stepped in a building. Like, this ain't even necessary.
It
I
don't be
missed my
necessary.
steps. Everybody was surprised. I was like, okay, okay. And I ended up actually RSPing, which is like the pre-drill before you go to basic training,
Yes.
at the same unit that that black female recruiter was at. So she was so mad with me that I come back to her. I'm like, girl, look, I had to find myself. Like, I had to really get it together. But yeah, I mean, my dad really became my why in everything I did. I went through basic training, AIT, graduated top of my class. Then I came out, I went straight to college, finished college 3.5 years, then took a gap year, then went to law school. And here I am, girl, passed the bar last year, my first year of
Ooh.
practice, and we here.
Yes, yes, yes. So you're the third National Guard person I've had on, and I don't know why I've never thought to get clarification. So there you have, of course, active duty, which is Army, Navy, Marines, the other
Mhm.
brand. Okay, but then National Guard. So with National Guard, are you considered active duty? What
So
does that look like working in the National Guard?
So they have an active component to the National Guard, which is called AGR,
Okay.
Active Guard Reserve. So basically, that's when you're working full time in the National Guard. So if you show up to a National Guard military unit, you have people that are in an active status. They work there every day, probably like 8 to 5, something like that. Just
Mm-hmm.
like active duty unit. But in the National Guard, they say it's 2 days a month, 2 weeks in the summer. I have yet to go to a unit where it's only 2 days a month and 2 weeks in the summer. So it's usually like 3 to 4, sometimes 5 days a month, and depending on type of unit that you're in. And oftentimes the 2 weeks would probably be in like July, August, March. Like the 2 weeks is not just in the summer.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, when I did my 2 months of reserve time after I left active duty, they had they had something like that, like for reserve Navy, where we're supposed to go 2 days out the month, which
Mhm.
was like either Saturday, but it wasn't 2 days. It was either okay, you're gonna go 4 days straight and then skip a month, or you're gonna do the schedule wasn't set in stone. So that does sound familiar. Now, walk us through the road to your commissioning, because you didn't join as an officer. You joined enlisted, especially at 17, of course not. So
Mhm.
walk us what that looked like commissioning in the National Guard.
Yes. So pretty much whenever I made the decision, it was my sophomore year of college. I had been to 3 National Guard units at that point, and I had only encountered 2 Black female commissioned officers. Only 2 in my entire career. That's including basic training, AIT, and the 3 National Guard units I've been at. Like only 2.
That's it.
Yes.
What
And
was your job as enlisted? What was your MOS?
so I was I think it's 42 Alpha. Yeah, 42 Alpha.
What is 42 Alpha? What
HR.
does that do?
Like
Oh,
AG.
okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
I hadn't encountered any And the ones I did encounter, I was just like, oh, thank God. Like, I love you. I just have so many things I want to talk to you about because nobody else is understanding. I remember at the
Yes.
time, certain hairstyles weren't allowed for African American females. And so I would always get counselings for that. Like in the counseling, they're showing me the current, I can't even think, regulation
Mm-hmm.
on what your hair is supposed to look like, which is a
Right.
female with her hair pulled into a bun, where my hair is not going to look like that.
Of course not.
And I mean, it was just always something with white men at every unit, but I didn't have that comfort zone where I can go to and talk about this. How can I navigate these conversations without getting in trouble? Because my flaw or like my issue with leadership should not be my hair.
Of course not.
Yeah. And so once I came across that, I mean, there's still mentors in my life to this day where I'm just like, y'all just don't understand how much that meant to me at such a young age, having that comfort zone, because it's very intimidating, especially for people who are private or lower rank, like privates and stuff like that. Like, you don't want to be disrespectful, but at the same time, like, y'all got me messed up in here. Like, stop showing me this picture of this white girl.
Of this white girl with this thin hair.
Thank you, because that's not what I'm going to ever look like.
Mm-mm.
And so, yeah, so I was at Sam Houston State. I went and talked to their recruiters about joining because if you're enlisted first, you only have to do 2 years of ROTC. Oh,
Okay. Oh, okay. Yes.
mhm. So I decided to go ahead my junior and senior year to just finish out the ROTC program there. And I mean, I can see why, not necessarily that I can see why, but I can see those roadblocks that are in place for Black females to not become commissioned officers because I've faced very many myself. And I can only imagine what the people faced before me because it
Yeah.
wasn't bad when I went. But
Yeah.
they always said that it was far worse before. And I'm just kind of like, it's just I'm lost for words on it. I mean, that's honestly the reason I'm still in because I really do want to see more Black women take that step, take that plunge, like change the expectations that they have of us, the outlook on us.
Yeah.
You just let them know like we can do everything the rest of y'all can do and better.
Exactly. And you know what, Morgan? I don't even know if it's their I think that they know what we're capable of, and I think that's
Mhm.
what intimidates. I don't even think is that they have this wrong perception of what we're
Right.
capable of or that they think that we're incompetent. I think that at this point in time, Black women have proved time and time again that we are overqualified in most
Mhm.
circumstances and very well competent and capable of outperforming our counterparts. And that is extremely uncomfortable in a society where
Absolutely.
women, let alone Black women, are supposed to be getting ahead. Like, what are you thinking? You are outside of the, like, girl, get back to where you're supposed to be at.
Yes.
Right. And so it's the undeniable talent and intelligence and capabilities of Black women that lead us into these positions of where they just like you can't not give it to me at this point.
Mhm. And
Like
it's
I'm
just
running laps.
so much discouragement along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I feel like I am a strong person, but I can see how that could tear someone down or how that can sway their decision in going a certain way. But at the end of the day, like, these people are just mad that we're succeeding. They hate to see us in these positions.
Mm-hmm.
They hate to see us succeeding, especially against white men. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, white men hate it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Very much so. I'm on Facebook because I'm an auntie. Yeah. So TC was on Facebook scrolling, and of course, I started my Facebook many moons ago. So a lot of the people that I'm friends with are military
Mhm.
or prior military, and I was having a conversation with one of my friends that's retired now, but it was just ironic because I'm seeing these white men that were E7s, E8s, O1Es, right? That had very high ranking positions on in the commands that I served at are blatantly racist now that they're out. And I'm like, you didn't just get like that.
Mhm.
You didn't just develop that opinion when you got out. You've had that for a while. So how many careers did that perspective impact?
Mm-hmm.
How many careers were cut short? Evals that were not equally ranked
Absolutely.
because of your distorted, perverted mindset towards somebody simply because they look different than you.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I see, the Morgan Webbs commission and do great things within the uniform, like it's bigger than just, okay, she's another commissioned officer. Like, no. Like, she done had to get through like hoops of fire to get where she's at. So, you're coming out of school, you dealt with this heartbreaking tragedy, and my condolences go out to you. You deal with this, and now you're in the military. So, and you're faced with these unwarranted
Absolutely.
pit stops in your career. How did you not say, you know what, I ain't gotta deal with this? Because you already had told these people one time that
Listen, and
you like, okay, now I'ma thug it out
that's a great
this time.
question because I've had that a lot of times. And what it is that motivates me is that I know that they want me to quit.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where, unfortunately, Black women in the military, you know that you can never have an off day, pretty much. Like, you always
Mm-mm.
have to be better than everyone else. And that's because it's very unfortunate, but people come across one Black female that they work with who may not have wanted to be the best every time. And now they have this perception where whenever this next one comes in, oh, she's going to be lazy, or she's not going to work hard, or we're not going to expect much from her PT and stuff like that. And you make sure that I'm blowing everybody out the water, like especially on these promotion boards, to where they're trying to make excuses for someone else to outrank you, or like
Mm-hmm.
give you a lower eval, where it's just like it's not making sense because my PT score is like, I've had consistent results in every aspect. I've created this program to make this process more efficient. Like, it's just making sure that you don't let them win in that fight. Like, you know who you are. Walk in every room with your head held high.
Yes.
And also, when it comes to the hair and nail regulations and stuff, like, just make sure that you know the regulations too whenever these old school military people come and try to ask you about that, because they still do when I wear my natural hair. Like, oh, are you sure your hair is in regulation? You're an officer and stuff like
Even
that.
as an officer?
As a it's primarily a old sergeant major that it has consistently been a sergeant major, actually. And I will go ahead and check them up on the regulation, tell them to go read up about it and follow up and have that conversation. Be like, hey, did you read up on their regulations? Make sure that you're as educated as I am. Because I don't need you going to the rest of the female officers or any
Or even the enlisted that's going to be intimidated.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why I feel like there needs to be more females, because I don't think I didn't start, like, honestly checking them up until I was a cadet. Oh, anybody knew me as a cadet? Well,
You was with the smoke.
they saw that transition quick. They saw that transition quick. I'm like, what? Okay, you want to have me and Star Major? Oh, okay, give me a second. Yeah, I know I'm just a little E5 in rank, but oh yeah, we.
But oh yeah, baby. Once I put on E5, I was that girl. Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like I can challenge the world
Yes.
with
And
an
anytime,
E5 on my back.
yeah, like anytime I still see, like when I go to random units and stuff like that, because I'm doing quarterly drills now. Anytime I go to any other unit, and like, you'll be surprised how like many Black females just naturally come to me. They never met me before, never seen me before. And I can tell I'm instantly their comfort zone. They're
Mm-hmm.
venting, they're talking about their experiences. And even though I'm only there for a couple of days, I'm gonna go talk to your leadership, because I know that it's very uncomfortable for you. I know how
Mm-hmm.
I felt. I felt like I wanted to quit by year 2 because I just couldn't take it.
Yeah.
I'm coming here and I'm not happy.
Yeah.
And I just make sure every time before I leave the door, I'm gonna ruffle their feathers. Like, let's
Of course. I think your presence alone probably ruffles feathers. And
oh,
then
for
you have an
sure.
opinion? Oh yeah.
Please don't let you
You're
be
disturbed.
you have you just came in my office to check me. I did and did.
Of course, and it's needed, and I appreciate you so much for doing that because you have, female officers or higher enlisted like yourself that will go to bat, and then you have some that's just like, I'm just trying to fly below the radar.
Absolutely.
I ain't trying to bother nobody. You need
Absolutely.
somebody to advocate for you. I ain't your person
Mhm.
because I don't even know how to advocate for myself.
Mhm.
So we need quality, and I don't even want to call them not quality, but we need people that are not afraid to put
Mhm.
people's feet to the fire in higher
Absolutely.
leadership positions in service.
Mhm.
We just need it. So, Morgan, in this day and age, we are seeing a lot more people in uniform having side businesses, side hustles, just their own thing going on. What made you say, yeah, let me go become a lawyer?
Well, I hate to be the cliche person, but I've always said that all my life that I want to be an attorney. I'm going to go to law school.
Okay, Claire Huxtable.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care what nobody say, it's going to happen for me. So, and I didn't get the support of the military at all. I'm not going to say at all, but probably 75% of the time. I had to go to bat with somebody every time just to make that happen for myself. My last year of college, I remember I was studying for the LSAT. And during that time, the seniors are basically in charge of the program, just to give you that leadership experience and stuff like that. And I felt like no one would ever just get off my back and let me just study for the LSAT. Like, I just want to sit here and take this one test. I'm back in action, whatever you need. Like, of course, I'm still going to be here. Still going to fulfill my duties and obligations in this position. But just to not expect so much of my time because I am trying to do this thing.
Yeah.
And many people know in RTC, their priority is for everyone to go active duty. They're not even looking at you to go National Guard. I can't tell you how many conversations the leadership would have with me before I commissioned and say, "Are you sure you want to go National Guard?" Like, stuff like that. I'm like, "Yes, I want to be a lawyer." Okay, sure, that's gonna happen or whatever. I'm telling you, it's crazy. And I had to really learn how to say no. Like, in so many different aspects. You got an attitude, okay, cool, whatever. Like, I gotta look out for myself.
Yeah.
So I learned that in RTC. I got to my military unit in my first year of law school. Well, let me back it up a little bit. I went to Bullock the summer before my first year of law school, and I had to start law school 2 weeks late. And 2 weeks late in law school in your first year is like 2 months.
Yeah, my cousin just graduated last year from Howard, and we live maybe an hour away from each other. We would meet up all the time, have lunch, go party. I think I saw him once his first year.
Yeah, that first year is serious. And so I'm so thankful to my law school for even allowing me to start 2 weeks late because at that point
Yeah.
they weren't remote anymore. They were fully in person. And they were like, we respect your service. We're gonna allow you to start 2 weeks late.
Shout
I
out to the military service.
Yes. I know, look, it'll get you somewhere.
Know when to use it, baby. Know when to use it.
Exactly. So I had to hit the ground running. And at this point, I'm still a baby officer. Like, I just graduated Bullock. I'm a second lieutenant. This is my first unit as a Bullock qualified officer. So I'm like, oh, I'm in the S1 position. They're asking so many things of me. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't say no because I'm so green. Like, I just got here. I haven't established that rapport to be able to tell people no, let them know, what I'm going to be willing to do or able to do. So in the beginning, I was just like, okay, let me go with it and just get some stuff done. And I quickly realized that when people see you good at your job, they really,
Want you to do it a lot.
oh man, they didn't care what I had going on. So that's when I got to the point where I'm like, no, like we're not doing that. I'm in law school. I need y'all to respect that a little bit. Don't be calling me during the week, ask me to do stuff during the week, give me deadlines during the week because I'm not full time.
Yeah.
So
About that.
yeah, so we got a full time S1. Hit up that S1 first, and if it's an emergency, then hit me up.
Right.
I had to establish that as a second lieutenant. I mean, I looking back on that, I'm like, girl, you were pretty bold for that. You just got in the room and you telling your brigade commander and battalion commander like that's kind of what the deal is gonna be. But it happened. Like it was very uncomfortable to do, but it happened. Like they backed off. They started contacting the S1 full time. And so then with National Guard, we did primarily with state emergency missions. So I'm sure you know because you were living in Houston, like all those freezes and stuff like that.
Yes.
Same time every year, they're going to activate every National Guard unit available in that area. So I got pulled from law school for that my first year. I already started 2 weeks late. So I got pulled that second semester for a state emergency mission on that. Then I got pulled same time my second year for a state emergency mission. Then my third year, I'm like, all right, listen, y'all, it ain't happening. I don't care. AWOL me. I'm not doing it. Like, I need to finish.
I got dreams.
Yeah, I need to finish. I paid way too much to go to this school. And yeah, and even my second year, like my unit deployed, I had to fight tooth and nail. It went all the way up to division on where they were going to deploy me. And I'm like, okay, so check this out. Y'all already paying for a portion of this. So if you want to lose that money, go right ahead. I had my career services person at the law school write them a letter. I had to write them a financial letter saying like, oh, I took out student loans for this. I'm using educational benefits for this. I have to finish.
Yeah.
And I remember my battalion commander denied it. I told them to push it up. Brigade commander denied it. Still had them push it up. And I had a whole meeting with division about where they were going to pull me from law school. And I was just kind of like, I've just never seen such lack of support. I'm literally almost finished with this, but y'all want to pull me, and we have so many different like people that you can use.
And I'm not in school learning how to be a DJ.
If I die today, I'm replaced tomorrow. So have that same mindset when we're doing these type of things. And so, I mean, I wasn't even asking at that point because I'm just kind of letting y'all know, even if you do not approve of this,
I'm AWOL.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing that to myself because at some point I have to put myself first. And their favorite thing was like, oh, we have a lot of college students. Well, this isn't regular college.
It's not.
You can just drop off and pick it back up. Like it will behoove you to complete that consecutively because a lot of opportunities will be missed if you don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not about to put myself in that position. And, it took about 4 months for them to finally just lay off and say, hey, we're not going to pull her. And they immediately pulled someone else, like who wasn't in school. Like, I'm not
You could
saying
have did this 4 months ago.
it was really just to see
How bad you will fight for it.
Yeah. And I just feel like certain things are just so unnecessary. Like I didn't have to go and like get my law school involved and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, it happened how it was supposed to happen. I got the support that I wanted, I needed, I stood up for myself, and they didn't want to mess with me.
Period. So how did that I was just talking to my business coach about like sucking at setting boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Like just especially if it's like something professional or if it might include burning a bridge. I'm like, I just suck it up. How did you having to advocate so much for yourself and set professional boundaries cross over into your personal life? Or was it the opposite? Was it you constantly having to set personal boundaries within the contexts of relationships and you just was like, oh, I'm already a pro at this. Let me show y'all who y'all working with.
Oh, absolutely not. I tell a lot of people that honestly, the military raised me. I joined pretty young. I'm about to make 10 years next year. And like in my adult life, in a sense, like that's pretty much what I dealt with. Like I had to learn how to be comfortable being uncomfortable because people may not know this, but it's not very comfortable for me to be that confrontational. But I will make it happen because at the end of the day, I choose myself.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, even now, even though my unit doesn't like it, I'm doing quarterly drills with them because I'm a first year attorney. I'm still learning the practice area that I'm doing. Like, I need to be able to give more attention to this job because this is what I'm going to do when I get out. Like,
Right.
I get hurt today, like, y'all kicking me out, replacing me. Like, I need to be able to establish myself outside of the military. And they are not the biggest fans of that. That's my one biggest pet peeve about the military, is that they are not very supportive of people establishing themselves outside of the unit when you're active, basically.
Yeah, because most of them, okay, from an active duty standpoint, they ain't never been successful outside of the military.
Yes.
So it's like, how dare you try to go
Hmm.
and be successful
How
outside
dare
of the
you?
military? And I ain't did it yet, and I'm a white male,
Hmm.
and I'm superior over you, duh.
Hmm.
Right? So it's like the audacity of it, and I think it's also a lot of projection of fear,
Hmm.
because like I don't have the confidence to do that because I'm afraid. So you can't have it either.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it as well. It's just like projecting, but I think that is really dope that you've been able to do that. And I want to circle back to something that you just said, that I feel like Black women just need a spokesperson for in this moment. Most of us that are in professional spaces, although stereotypes in America and society has tried to label us the most unapproachable, confrontational people, most black professional women I know are not confrontational.
Hmm.
We're forced to defend ourselves because
Hmm.
people want to make us into pushovers.
Yes.
And that's just like, we're not confrontational. We're educated, we're smart, and most of the time we are the least confrontational people in our families. We are put into these positions where it's like, okay, either you speak up or you're gonna get walked like a dog.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, I can't imagine what my life would look like if I did not activate, in a sense, that aspect of myself. Like, I would have probably been in Kuwait right now. I would definitely not have graduated. Like,
No.
I would have even started, honestly. Um, I just can't imagine. And I 100% agree. Like, we always have to defend ourselves. And I'm in great hopes that it'll get better. Um, that's just me being optimistic.
I think with more people advocating and more people like you, I think it's gonna be a slow process, but I see it improving.
Hmm.
I see it improving, and it might, with this administration, get a little worse before it gets better. But I definitely see it improving because now, because people are doing stuff like you're doing now, we are establishing ourselves outside of the military. So
Hmm.
before, it was like, let me not say anything because this my last chance of hope. But
Hmm.
now it's like, you have Black women, you have minorities in service that are setting themselves up, learning how to manage their money and invest to create wealth for themselves. So now it's like, I ain't so scared to speak up, cause you ain't my last option no more.
Okay, especially if you're not my primary source of income. No, baby.
Right. Get some act right. Let's tighten this thing up and remember who needs who here.
And like, know your place. Thank you.
You're not bigger than the program. Nobody's bigger than the program. And this might be I don't even know what a rhetorical question, especially given, our previous conversation. But how do you think your military service uniquely prepares women for leadership roles in any industry, but specifically in law?
Mhm. So in the military, I learned how to deal with all types of people. I mean, all types of people, regardless of your upbringing, your political beliefs, religious beliefs, personalities. I mean, I've dealt with it all, you name it.
Yeah.
And I feel like, in at least in this first job, I'm dealing with all types of personalities here too. And I know how to manage being in those rooms, being in those conversations, having conversations with people, even though we don't have the same upbringing or outlook on life, but
Mm-hmm.
we can still work together productively
Mm-hmm.
and accomplish whatever we have to get done. And you can still have a positive outlook on me. I can still have a positive outlook on you. And also discipline. I mean, me before the military, this mouth, baby, this mouth was reckless. It's still a little reckless, but
Don't say.
but it's much more tame. I know how to have those professional conversations without it being some type of brawl or like big scene or big conflict in the office.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't back away from confrontation at all. And I'm very disciplined. I will say that I don't know how disciplined I would have been even going through law school, because that's one where discipline really came like as a key thing that I needed to complete it. And I just don't know what that would have looked like for me if I hadn't gained that from the military.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I would say just learning how to have those tough conversations and dealing with all types of people.
Very much so. And you hear veterans and just like people in the military say, yeah, you learn how to work with different attitudes, but it's a different level in the military.
Mhm.
You are literally dealing with every type of personality, ethnic group, cultural
Yes,
background that you can
yes.
think of. And you might have to depend on them for your life at one point in time.
Mhm.
So don't piss them off too much.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta learn how to say what you need to say in a in
Yeah.
a, in a manner, right? So definitely learning how, like, it's the military, I always say, is the biggest teacher of communication skills.
For sure.
Definitely the biggest teacher in that aspect. So you talked a lot, well, you hinted at a little bit about like the importance of mentorship while you were in service. What does that look like for you now as somebody that has graduated from law school, that has commissioned? You know, what does mentorship look like for you at this moment? Especially, and I really want you to talk to the girls that are the women that are at these high levels, right? Because I think we only see mentorship as we're climbing, like once we get to this pinnacle.
Mhm.
But I feel like you always need mentorship. So what does that look like for you in the space that you're in right now with all your accolades and stuff?
Well, I have a mentor for every aspect of my life. And I like to separate them. I have mentors and I have sponsors. So I have sponsors in those
What's the
professions.
difference?
So for me, now I don't know if this is a denotative difference, but for me, a mentor is someone more so that I can come to you on a more personal level. I can confide in you more, like you're going to give me guidance on every single thing. Like you're going to give me that uncut, like this is a personal relationship. But for me, a sponsor is someone who you have that relationship in a more professional way, in which like they're speaking on your name when you're not in these rooms. Like they're advocating for you in a professional setting. Like, for example, like my sponsor in the military, like on promotion boards and stuff, like you're hiring command, like you're helping me understand how to get to that next level professionally. And it doesn't have to be someone that's black
Right.
as a sponsor, but it's definitely going to be someone that's going to help you get to that next level, because your mentor even, but for me, all my mentors black, but for my sponsors, um most of them, yeah, most of them are non-black, because they're in these spaces, like they've had these experiences and stuff that I didn't have growing up or have in this current career field. And so they're teaching me a lot, and they're advocating for me when I'm not in the room. But my mentors is like, oh, let me tell you what happened today. How you think I should handle this situation? This is what I really want to do. But
Right.
you're
But
gonna,
what should I do?
yeah, you can help me really back in and make sure I don't go do nothing crazy. But that sponsor is like, okay, I want to get promoted. I want to learn how to do this aspect, or I want to start doing real estate or like VA loans and stuff like that. Like, how do I get to that next level? I see you've been successful in it. And yeah, I mean, I even have mentors for like, I'm trying to do more of like weightlifting, strength training. Like, I got mentors for that. Like,
Yes.
every single aspect of my life, I have a mentor. But you also don't want to forget those sponsors, because
'Cause
those are the ones.
they're really important.
Mhm.
They're really important. And on the business aspect side of things, like professionally, if you are an entrepreneur, you also need a sponsor.
Mhm.
And they are the pass off. Hey, this is so and so. I'd like you to meet so and so. They do X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
And that is a form of that. So if you are an entrepreneur, or you own your own business, or you're not in corporate America, you can also have a sponsor. That is very important. Okay, so let's get a little personal. Are any of your are there any of them men?
Yes.
Okay, so this is where I want to go with this question. How do you feel? Do you see a difference in being mentored or sponsored or helped or guided from a male's perspective versus a female? Because a lot of times they say, women, we're emotional, we can sometimes be impulsive, and men are just kind of like X, Y equals Z, and that's just kind of what it is. Do X, Y, and Z, and there's no like, it's more logical, a
Mhm.
more logical aspect behind it. So what do you feel about having a male and female, or male or female sponsorship and mentorships?
Okay, so for mentors, I do have one male mentor, and he'll help me really back in when I feel like I might be having an emotional perspective, or I might just need a man's perspective on a situation, because sometimes we do need that, because
Yeah.
women, like, they just have totally different experiences. So sometimes you do need that. Not saying that one is better than the other, but
Right.
I'm very much open to hearing what their perspective is.
Yes.
And my male mentor definitely helps me reel it back in. Like, talk to me straight. Like, don't try to be too nice about it. Like, just give it to me straight. So I feel,
Right.
and I can say the same about my male sponsors as well. Like, they'll give it to me more straight. When I'm like, okay, I need you to be direct. Like, you don't have to be too nice. Like,
Right.
to me direct. Yeah, I feel like that's the primary difference in both, honestly. Like, not even just separating them. Like, I get a very straight answer. Like, they help me to where, like, because sometimes, naturally, even for men too, like, we can lead off emotions sometimes, be like,
Hmm.
oh, they just made me so mad. Like, I'm not supposed
Right.
to do this, and this, but hold on, because long term, is that going to help you? Like,
Right.
this is how you should navigate those situations, because I had the same experience. Like, this is what I can, this is what I would do, especially because I do, I'm not gonna say currently, but like in life, I have worked with people that are sexist.
Hmm.
So whenever men expect women to react to things a certain way and they don't, they have more of a respect for them, or like that issue usually stops quickly.
Yes.
So just getting that advice on things from men, even though I don't respect it at all. Like, I work with you, but I don't respect it.
Right.
But just getting those perspectives on that as well has been really helpful.
Yeah, most definitely. Morgan, as I am embarking on like my own journey with finding my place with advocacy and becoming a thought leader for veterans' mental health, I've noticed the importance just this year of getting into certain rooms and networking through joining organizations. So I know that you are a part of the National Black Law Student Association, or that you were. Can you
Mhm.
touch on the importance of joining organizations, being active in these organizations, and how it has helped you jumpstart your career and your networking?
I would say I've met all of my legal mentors through joining the National Black Law Student Association. So, my law school, I was one of nine Black law students that were graduating. And this is 2024, like, nine
Yeah.
Black students are walking across the stage. And while I was in law school, I mean, I felt that need to find other like Black students. I'm like, I mean, we just can't. This can't be it. And
Yeah.
so, the National Black Law Students is a civil rights organization in which they are advocating for Black law students within the profession nationally. They have regional boards, they have local boards, and like you can find that community in whatever regard you want to serve with them. And so I did kind of start working with my law school's Black Law Student chapter. And I can say it now, but like it wasn't giving what I wanted it to give. It wasn't, it wasn't giving the advocacy that I wanted. It wasn't giving
Yes.
how
Where's the advocacy?
yeah, like how are we gonna dive deeper into the community? How are we going to like help students that look like us in this realm and focus our programs on that? Most of the membership was non-black
Mm-hmm.
at that specific local chapter. And I'm just like, oh no, baby, like I have to find some Black people. Like I gotta find it. So I remember I applied to be on the national board my first year of law school, and I'm like, no, girl, you already got all this stuff on your
Right.
but I had to, because if I didn't have that community, I just didn't know how I was going to be able to mentally get through that, because you got to have some people that you can vent to about these things that totally understand it, because you already do the
Right.
exact same thing. And I applied to be on the board, went to a couple of interviews, and I ended up making it on the board. We had retreats every year. We had monthly meetings. Basically, the whole point of the organization was just to find out what are the current issues of Black law students. How can we, what advocacy programs can we put in place? Like what other mentorship programs can we put in place to make sure we reach every Black law student? And I just don't know what my law school career, I guess, or path would have looked like without National Black Law Association. Now they got on my last nerves, but I love everybody that I worked with for sure in their own little way. Like, we argue, you know what I mean, just with any board, but I mean, we really did all have a common goal, and we were able to work
Yes.
together so well. And it was just it filled my tank of like, oh, I need that Blackness, because I don't get that when
Yes.
I go up to school every day. So yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely get involved in the community, networking. One of my mentors that I met through NABOSA helped me get this job that I currently have. And so she's a mentor and a sponsor for me. So
Oh, a 2-in-1. We like those.
love the 2-in-1. But yeah, you just never know who's gonna help you get into whatever room. Like they may see themselves in you. They're like, I met so many people that truly would show up to these events, like senior attorneys that want to just help Black law students get into those rooms, like teach them about things that they didn't know, that they wish they knew, that they trying to like embark on us. Like, I mean, I honestly even learned more about civil rights, even just joining the organization.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I
What
would say most definitely get involved.
most very much so. And I hate that I'm just now learning the importance of joining these organizations, joining the national Black whatever it is, joining
Mhm,
your regional Black whatever it is, whether it's
mhm.
NAACP chapter or a commerce chapter for your county or your city or your state. Get involved. If you want to really strengthen your network, get into those rooms. And if you don't know how to get into those rooms, get on LinkedIn and slide in these people
Message,
inbox.
message them. People message me all the time. I might respond like 2, 3 days later, but I still responded, and I'm gonna still give you my number, and we can go to lunch or something. Like I'm gonna always respond.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so you are working so you're doing corporate law right now?
Insurance defense.
Insurance defense. Okay, so what does that look like, and what is your overall goal for your law career? Do you want to stay where you are, or are you planning on pivoting, or you just you just starting out, so you just trying to see where your footing is?
Mhm. So, pretty much insurance defense. You never meet someone who is like, "Oh, my passion was insurance defense. I really want to do it." Everyone usually just falls into it, and it's pretty much because it's defense. I would represent insurance carriers in any litigation that they have. Um, People ask me this all the time. So who do you represent? Like, I mean, insurance carriers, if you're insured with State Farm, all
Right.
Liberty Mutual and things like that. So I represent them. I'm not against the people just because I represent
She's
them.
not a op, y'all. She's still down, okay?
But yes, that's pretty much what I'm currently doing. I've learned so much. This is my 6 month or a little over 6 months into doing it, and I've learned so much. I can't necessarily say that it's 100% my passion, but I do really like the work. Like I love learning new things, especially because we all should be insured in some type of aspect, and I learned so much about like what different things within the policy that you need to make sure that you're looking for and things like that, that I'm like, oh shoot, let me go look at my own policy. This is news to me. So yeah, I love learning new things, especially because it's something that affects the everyday person.
Yes.
And as far as whether I'm going to pivot, I don't think so. At least not now. Like I'm just getting my footing. I'm just starting out. I like the job. I like the firm. Yeah, girl, I'm just trying to manage. But I'm trying to transition out the military at the same time. But I'm just managing
Understandable, understandable.
that.
And I think that this is a good first start. Like that you work for one of the biggest firms. Is it in Texas?
Well, the largest insurance firm in Texas, yes.
Okay, and y'all gotta know how big Texas is. So Texas is a country within itself, okay? So for it to be the biggest one in Texas, it says a
Yeah,
lot. It
yeah.
says a lot. And we are so proud of you, Morgan. Tell the people, if you could give the veterans, the women for Women's History Month, one piece of advice, what
Mhm.
would it be?
I would say to relentlessly advocate for yourself, like regardless of the challenges. Anything worth achieving is not going to be easy. Just make sure you continue to push yourself first, and to always make sure you have your why, because whenever that motivation fades and you have your why, that discipline is going to overcome that. For
Most definitely. Most definitely. And tell the people where they can reach you at.
Okay, so you can reach me on LinkedIn, Morgan Webb. You can follow me on Instagram, the original Morgan. I am quicker to respond on LinkedIn, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, like I'm open to helping veterans in any aspect, especially because I know that you don't naturally get that support from your unit when you're trying to establish yourself outside the military. So I'm willing to offer any advice that I can. And yeah, just keep putting yourself first.
Oh, hey, always. This has been such amazing. Again, Morgan, I just want to thank you for coming on, sharing your story. I want to give you your flowers. In a world that tells us what we can't be, you have defied all the odds, and we are rooting for you. Okay, I want to give you a Taraji hug.
Thank
Y'all
you.
know when she was at the award
Me
ceremony.
too. Let me tell you, I need to give you your flowers. When I found out that this was a podcast, I'm like, oh my gosh, like she just hit the lottery, because I wish I could have just been able to just go and listen in to some people talk about how they navigated that, because it's not easy at all. Like,
No.
especially when you're currently serving and you still have those pressures from them. So I applaud you. You need all your flowers. Have fun at your brunch in Virginia. You know, back in Texas.
Yes, 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 yes. I have to plan something for Texas. I have to do
Yes.
something for the vets in Texas. So y'all might be hearing a little some coming
Okay,
up.
we're gonna be looking.
Okay, Morgan, where you at? Okay. This has been another amazing episode of the Six Figure Podcast, where we showcase the success stories of Black veterans that have successfully unlaced the boots. The Six Figure Vet is out. Hey y'all, it's a Six Figure Vet here. If you or any other active duty service member or veteran that you know is suffering with suicidal ideation, substance use, or mental health disorders, please tell them to call 988. The number is 988. They're trained crisis responders waiting to take their calls. You don't have to suffer in silence. Quantum Records.